Hey, how's it going, guys? Charles here with Snyder Marketing again, and I'm going live to talk about webinar and website updates. We're less than a week away from the next. Let me turn some light on here. What's going on? Got dark all of a sudden. Wasn't too bad, and then it got dark all of a sudden as soon as I went live. I'm not sure what in the world's going on, but now that we got a little more light on the subject and you can actually see my freaking face, let's talk about the webinar and some of the other stuff that we have going on in the background. Just getting ready for this because we got less than a week to go. The guest speakers are lined up. I believe I mentioned that the last couple of times. We got that all set in stone. We're going to be releasing a little more information about that in the next, the couple days leading up to the actual event. And we are also in the process of adding a new dedicated website just for ROI Ninja CRM and Missed Call Text Back. And we are making some progress with that as well. In fact, that is pretty much I'm going to just share that a little bit today. I know I've talked about this before, is the Missed Call Text Back ROI calculator. How much money you're actually losing, potentially losing, or could recapture using Missed Call Text Back and ROI Ninja CRM. And this has been probably the most popular part of the whole presentation, that we added this little ROI calculator in here just to kind of demonstrate the potential lost sales that small businesses are having, and how what the difference it could actually be if you're making these additional sales from if you're not missing the phone calls, number one, and getting a portion of them back, based on your closing rate, how much more money this is actually going to add to your bottom line every single month. And this has been like probably one of the biggest things that we've gotten compliments on with the original webinar that we put together. And seems to be a lot of interest in this. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this calculator that we put together for the presentation, the webinar, and we are adding it to the Missed Call Text Back website, which I'm working on right now. Let me get it. Yeah, I lost my page. Here we go. All right, so here's the page that we use during the webinar. So and we give people access to this so they can play around with it. And there's a lot of different numbers that you can use. So, for example, one of the frequent examples that we talk to a lot of, garages and plumbers, electricians, roofers, construction type of outfits. But this even applies for like chiropractors that might have like a small home office. Or even like the one guy I've talked to, he does a lot of CDL physicals that are required. So there's a potential that, he's missing some business because of missed phone calls. So for just as an example, each one is worth about roughly $100 a year, or $100 per appointment that they got to come in there. So if he missed, just say 10, and he closes, he said, I think his close rate was somewhere around 50, 60%, something like that. But conservatively, we'll just say 50%. And then we calculate that out. That's an additional potentially $15,000 per month that he's missing from just, people calling and not being able to speak to a human. Whether they leave a voicemail or not, most of the time people don't even leave voicemails anymore. But I mean, that's a potential 1,900% return on investment that he could have based on this. And I need to update this calculator, for the November special that we're running, but still, I mean, that's like you're still talking like almost 15,000 extra dollars per month because you're missing some phone calls. And just another example, we'll say like, um, the one gentleman I talked to has a garage, like for him to do like a state inspection, emissions, the emissions and an oil change. Those are like his three popular ones where people, they get their inspection, they get their emissions, and then they also get an oil change while they have the car in there in one shot. So it was like, it wasn't quite $150. It was close. It was like 140 some dollars, for the inspection, for the emissions test. And then it's like another, I don't know, it was like 70, $80 for the oil change. So I was like, just we'll round it off. We'll say $150. And then, potentially he was somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 missed calls per day easily. When he's doing these inspections, the oil changes, tire changes, whatever, he can't always get to the phone. You can't get a vehicle done. You can't repair, you can't go out and do a roadside service or something like that and be on the phone the entire time. You need your hands to do the actual work and stuff. So yeah. And again, I just talked to him. I was like, how many people actually like show up? And I can't remember the exact numbers, but just we'll say for 40% off the top of my head. So we run the numbers, and there you go. We're talking $17,000 now potentially that garage mechanic is missing because of missed phone calls. That's almost over a 2,300% return on investment, meaning for every dollar he would invest in this, he gets 2,300 back. I mean, you got the lottery, you got the potential of winning like a couple $1,000,000, maybe, but the odds are stacked against you. Where in this case, the odds are stacked in your favor. If you're able to send, if they're able to leave you a voicemail, if they leave you a voicemail when they call, and then the missed call text back shoots them a message, says, "Hey, sorry, I missed your call. How can I help you?" Or what, do you need to schedule an oil change? Hey, do you need to get your pet in here? Do you have an emergency with your pet? Or do you have a work-related back injury, if it's a chiropractor, or you having a toothache? There's so many different ways that if you deal with people over the phone, that this missed call text back can save you a lot of missed opportunities to make more money. And as you can see, the more you play around with this has been really popular with small businesses, like really playing around with this to find out how much they can actually regain in lost sales. And it's been really popular. So anyway, the moral of the story is I'm actually working on adding that to the missed call text back website. So that information, that calculator is going to be available there as well. So that's what I'm working on. That's what we're moving towards. And there's going to be some more updates coming up. And then, like I said, the few days before the actual webinar, we're going to reveal who our guest speakers are, a little bit about what they're going to be doing. And we're also going to be talking about the special offer, the huge special offer for the month of November coming up. So until then, we'll catch you later. Keep pushing forward, make stuff happen. Take care.